Hey, girlfriend. Not sure who's here. I feel like I have to start every single live stream just like that. Girlfriend, if you can hear me, let me know. And if you can't hear me, let me know that as well too, because it's really important that we're connected. So I'm going to wait until I see a few people populate the chat just because I think that this is a conversation that has been taking place on Find Natural Hair Rocks. And I was like, I really just want to come on here and connect. And, a lot of us were talking about this back and forth in the chat. And you know, I just figured why not open up a live stream about it? There's so much to learn. I think as long as we keep the commentary respectful, we all engage in, sharing our thoughts and our perspectives in ways that are respectful for each other, I think we should be fine. So, again, if you're in the chat, let me know. Of course, today's topic is heat stretched natural hair is not natural. Now, girlfriend, full disclosure, that is not my opinion. It's just not. Although I think you probably knew that. Like, I go ahead and I straighten my hair so often. I'm always talking about the Revere and how it's benefited my fine natural hair. I've always talked about how stretching your natural hair has been really useful for retaining length. So for a really long time, I was stuck at the same length. That's something that I've been very open about here on Find Natural Hair Rocks. And it's been, I think a big part of the reason why I was stuck with my natural hair length retention is because I wasn't stretching it. Right. And if I was stretching it, I wasn't stretching it in ways that were conducive to growth. Hi, Nadoom. Hi, love yourself. Look at the Curlfriend Crew just coming on in. What's up? Happy Friday. What is on your plans for the weekend? My weekend, girlfriend, my weekend is jam packed. Like it is so packed. I'm even surprised that I was able to make today's live stream without having to switch the time or having to delay, which for the record, I hate. But thank God, God was on our side, and here we are connecting. So for today's live stream, depending on how hot the topic is and whether people want to talk about it anymore, I'm here as long as you want to be here. But I do have to draw the plug at around maybe 5:25ish, latest 5:30, because there's actually a work gala, like an annual charity gala that I've got to attend tonight, just because of the work that I do in terms of like human rights and equity and support and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes the work that I do, well, actually, a lot of the times, the work I do, it kind of has a tendency to bleed over into other areas of life, like later on Fridays and Saturdays and Sundays. So that's today. And then tomorrow, I'm actually on a shoot. I'm doing a commercial. I can't talk about it. I will share more details about the commercial as soon as I can. But yeah, I'm super excited, super amped, and it's going to be a great one. It's a Saturday shoot. I'm super excited about that. Mahumza, how do I pronounce that? I don't know if it's too much. I'm going to say M because I really hate messing up people's names. But I don't know if you can put that in phonetically because I feel like you and I are always talking and I don't want to be saying my girlfriend's name incorrectly. You feel me? So yes, you made it. You made it. There's 13 of us. So I'm actually going to go ahead and share my screen because this is the conversation that I think is worthy of opening up, directly here on Find Natural Hair Rocks. So going ahead and sharing the screen right now. And things have been moved around. I'm trying to find how to share the screen, but for some reason, it's actually not letting me. If you'll bear with me while I try to do this. uh, okay, so I don't think I'm going to be able to share the screen because they switched things around on me and it used to be here and now it's not. So fine. Essentially, back about maybe 4 days ago, or maybe more than that, I think I want to say about a week ago, yeah, about a week ago, a full week ago, a poll came up and the poll was said, girlfriend, is heat straightened hair still considered natural? Now 88% of us said yes, heat straightened hair is natural. And spoiler alert, girlfriend, I think heat straightened hair is natural as well. So that's my opinion. Now, here's where the controversy comes in. 12% of the Curlfriend Crew said, no, not at all. Heat straightened hair is not natural. And that's where people started having a conversation, both online as well as offline as well. So it was really interesting because I didn't realize that people were actually, still talking about this. Oh, fantastic, Mahomaza. Thank you. I'm so happy I pronounced your name perfectly. That is awesome. Hi, Carl. What's up? Thank you so much for the support. So, I was talking to some of my, males in my circle, and some of them said, to them, even a weave is considered natural, right? So, I mean, girlfriend, I want to put that question out there. Do you think that a weave is considered natural? I think that natural hair, like right now, like for example, I've gotten, most people would call this goddess locks. For people who are not aware of what goddess locks are, obviously these extensions, my real hair is not this long. And I am in the process. I'm probably going to take these out in the next like 3 or 4 weeks or so. Actually, no, that's long. 2 or 3 weeks. I'm going to take them out. But I'm still natural. Like nothing has changed. Girlfriend, would you say that I'm not natural anymore because I have this in? I think, this is a conversation that is really nuanced and it can be polarizing too. So jumping on into the comments that took place, shout outs to Doll OV Poetry, who says the hair itself is still natural if it's straightened. It's just in an altered state. The same way, if you curl relaxed hair, the hair is still relaxed. It's just relaxed. So I tend to agree with that. I don't think that there's really much of a difference. Like, it's not that you curl your hair and now it's no longer relaxed. It's not that you style your hair and now it's no longer natural. For me, where natural hair becomes no longer natural is where, you have some type of a chemical in it that is creating a permanently altered texture. So for me personally, again, spoiler alert, I don't think that dyed hair is not considered natural. It's just colored natural hair. So and the reason being, yes, dye is still a form of, like, what do you call it? They're chemicals, of course. But I think that because your texture is pretty much part and parcel the same, like you're not changing the texture, it's with a chemical, like it's generally still natural. Heaven says, I thought natural is without any chemicals. So, Heaven, that's a very good point because there's a massive part of the community who feels the exact same way. So, Heaven, question, do you think that then natural hair that is dyed is also you know, I guess a dye is a chemical, right? Like if it's not a natural chemical, then perhaps it's a chemical. So would that hair also not be natural? For me, I'm actually currently toying with the idea of, once I hit my hair length goals, I will go ahead and probably add a color to it that's probably something like this. Like I tend to like wearing browns. I tend to like wearing like, those kind of golden hues. And so once I hit my hair length goal, because like right now I'm doing everything perfect because I really want to hit this goal as soon as possible so that I can start doing other things with my hair. But once I do that, does that mean I'm no longer natural? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't know. I personally don't know. So, in that comments that Doll OV Poetry and Doll OV Poetry, if you're here in the comments, shout outs to you. And also, if you're watching the replay, shout outs to you as well. Like maybe you missed the chat, but you can definitely engage in the commentary in the comment section, and I will absolutely always respond and engage back with you. Now, this week was a little crazy. Curlfriend is always my philosophy to connect within the next 24 to 48 hours max. But this week was pretty crazy, and I do have to prioritize the cases that come across my desk. So unfortunately, I wasn't able to respond as quickly as I usually do. But rest and be assured that your questions, when they come to me, I will absolutely answer them. Maybe not right away, but I will absolutely answer them. As soon as humanely possible. Also, I want to give a big shout out to Michelle from Find Natural Hair and Faith. She dropped in and she had some conversations as well. She had a bit of things to say about it. And, she mentioned, she agrees hair that's natural, that's been done in a braid out or even, stretched with braid bands or altered in some kind of a way. She agreed that that's still natural as well. So it's not that you do a braid out or you do a twist out and like all of a sudden now you're no longer natural. You are still natural. It's just your hair is in a different state. And of course, Doll OV Poetry agreed. So Tiffany says, Hair dye can change the hair texture if the hair is over processed. I would still say the hair is natural, but it would be considered damage. And Tiffany, that's the perfect point right there, because I don't think the Curlfriend Crew was saying that, like, or the majority was saying, myself included, was saying that, if the hair, it's not damaged, like, for sure. Like, I think that, any kind of a chemical processing, any kind of a, over reliance on heat is going to damage the hair. It's not going to be in its most virgin state. And I think even that might be where people are getting confused. So virgin hair is different than natural hair. I think virgin hair is like chemically untouched, heat untouched. Like, it's just virgin as it left the scalp, is as it currently is, and it's always like that. So I think that that's different from natural hair, which is your natural state minus chemicals to alter the texture. So you might have had heat on the hair. It's still natural. It's just, it's not in its virgin state because of that heat. And heat, even if you can't see the alterations, you can't see the damage, it does change things a bit. I don't think that my curl pattern is as tight as it started out. When it was like maybe this short, like, it's loosened over time. That could be gravity, but it could also be the fact that I do, blow out my hair. I have used heat. I have flat ironed it. I've done all those things in the past. Mohamza says, some dyes alter the strand, especially the ones that use peroxides. Others, like henna, do not alter the structure of the strand. Yes. And so there's that thought process as well too, right? Like, if you are going to be getting some form of color added to your hair, then you would want to get a color added to your hair that's actually something like henna or indigo, or like something that's just naturally based, so that you're not actually incorporating chemicals. And it's the chemicals that are problematic, right? Like, not just for like this whole natural hair movement thing, which that's important, but also for the health of our bodies, right? Like, this is a little bit of a side note, but we'll come back. But even going to the pharmacy for something like lotion, right? Like, lately, I've been very aware of what I put on my skin. So if I'm going to be putting good things on my hair, got to be putting good things on the skin too, right? Because, if you can, and like, if you can receive chemicals through your hair, of course you can receive chemicals in your bloodstream through your skin. Girlfriend, will I tell you that it is so hard to go to the pharmacy, at least here in Canada, and find a lotion that doesn't have, harmful preservatives, toxins. Even if it says it's a clean brand, it's still not 100% clean. Sometimes, a lot of the times, the companies are kind of like just driving on the heels of what's barely legal. Anywho, to return back to what we were talking about as it relates to, just keeping your hair as chemical free as possible, that's where I think the majority of the definition is around being natural. So, just jumping back into the comments, Heaven says, does dye change the texture of your hair? If not, it's still natural. That's a good point. So dye shouldn't change the texture of your hair. There have been some people who have said, like, they've hennaed their hair and it changed the texture, like it loosened it up, or they've added some type of a clay mask. And I think there was a stage where people were putting what was it again? It was aloe vera for sure. It was an acid. That's what it was. It was like apple cider vinegar or whatever, right? And they were adding that to their hair to change the texture. And that was a whole thing at some point, right? For sure, if you're doing things like that and it changes the texture, I think that, like, there's also like a conversation there about whether or not, is it damaged or is it like no longer natural? Because you can have damaged natural hair in the same way that you can have damaged relaxed hair, right? Um so Tiffany says hair dye can change the texture if the hair is over processed. Okay, so yes, exactly. And I totally agree with that, right? Like, we have to have that conversation about what it means to have damaged natural hair versus just saying the person is no longer natural, right? Sheila, using heat is still being natural. Duh. Sheila, you're killing me. You know what? I really do like the thing about heat, and I don't know when it became so polarizing, right? Like, I don't know at what point did the natural hair community be like, if you have heat, you're no longer natural. Like, I don't know where that came from. Maybe it came as like a resistance to like Eurocentric ideals, a resistance to chemicals, the relaxer movement, all of that. Fair, fine, dandy. But I think that the natural hair movement has moved beyond being simple aesthetic trend of the moment and a movement to being here to stay. Like if you look at even the schools, you look at, various women, people who have textured hair of all ages, colors, everyone's still wearing their natural hair 10, 15, 20 years down the line from when the natural hair movement just began. So, arguably speaking, to me, I don't believe that the natural hair movement is a trend. I think that we're at the stage where, this is how people choose to wear their hair. Like, I'm not going back. I've been natural since 2009 now, and I'm not going back. Like, funnily enough, the intention when I went natural was to grow it out long, strong, and then relax it. But because I've seen the health benefits to the hair being in a natural state, I can't conceivably ever go back to that. There has been a little bit of a trend of people returning back to relaxed strands because they feel that natural hair is too difficult to deal with. That's not something that I personally have dealt with. I was one of those people who had no hair when they were relaxed. I was reliant on my wigs and my weaves because that's all that I could go out with and feel like I was in an aesthetically pleasing manner because my real hair was just so damaged and so thin. And, you guys have seen those photos, right? So I wouldn't go back to that. But to this point here, I really don't think that adding heat changes the fact that you're natural. Now, does adding heat cause damage? Yes, it can cause damage and it will change the structure to a certain degree. But I don't think that I think saying that the hair is no longer natural is a little bit of a reach. Hi, Patricia. Welcome, welcome, and welcome to anybody else who's, maybe you're just watching this live stream, engaging in, the conversation, but you're not necessarily in the chat. I want to acknowledge you and say that I see you, I appreciate you, and thank you so much for joining me on your precious Friday evening or Friday afternoon moving into the evening. Nadoom says, it's less about being chemical free because we still need water and air, but more about avoiding toxins and pollutants. You know, that comment is very interesting and I would love to hear more about it because I agree with you completely. We absolutely, of course, we need water and air. Like those are basic human needs. I need it. But yes, avoiding toxins and pollutants. And oftentimes, once upon a time when I was very early to this whole like natural movement, I was like, I don't really care about the whole like natural ingredient, chemical free thing. Like, so long as it can make my hair look good and it does what it's supposed to do, I'm good. Because like again, at that time I was also a student, so I didn't have the luxury of being able to say I'm only going to use clean products, which are expensive and very inaccessible to everyone, and that is a problem in and of itself. But for the purposes of our conversation right here, I really do believe that we really need to do the best that we can with what we've got in terms of resources and time and energy and those things, to reduce those toxins and reduce those pollutants. Like you can't control what happens outside. You go outside, there's so much exhaust from cars and factories, and the ozone layer is constantly depleting. Like the world is not what it was 10 years ago, let alone 50 years ago, let alone 500 years ago. And so for that reason, if we can control what goes on top of our scalps and our hair as it relates to chemicals and toxins, and especially things like parabens, like there was this one cream that I used to use a lot. Let me know, Curlfriend, if you've heard of this one. It was the Queen Elizabeth cocoa butter. Curlfriend, that thing smells so good. It smells so good, right? Amazing. And I was using it for years. Me, my mom, my family, everybody was using it for years because it smells good. Women like to smell good. Would you know that the second ingredient, Curlfriend, I think either the second or the first ingredient was parabens. And like that's scary. Knowing what we know now about parabens, like that is very scary. And so insofar as we can reduce that, I think that's a different conversation. But if you are using those things, I don't think that that changes you being natural either. I really do think that when you stop being natural, for me, it's just one of two states. Either you're natural or you're relaxed. And anything in between that doesn't involve chemicals, to me, in my interpretation of this, is natural. From the time you turn over to a texturizer or formaldehyde treatment, there's this new Dominican blowout where they attach the formaldehyde and then the heat, and you end up with like permanently straight hair for 6 months or whatever. To me, that's not a natural anymore either, right? Like, so, and I want to know your thoughts on that. Like, is there anything that I'm saying that you disagree with? Curlfriend, this is a safe space. And we're here for open dialogue. Like, you're not always going to agree with me. I'm not always going to agree with you, but that's okay, because this is where we have these conversations, and we have them in a safe space, because that's what the Curlfriend Crew does. Patricia Jenkins says, I'm not going back either. My hair is healthier now. Yeah, like, why would I trade full ends, thickening hair for, like, scraggly ends and like hair that's constantly thinning, and the chemical is thinning out the hair as well. Now that I think about that, girlfriend, I really do feel like the relaxer movement was particularly harmful for us financials, because we already on a good day have issues with the thickness of our strands. Now we want to add a chemical on top of it that's going to reduce that thickness even more. That's crazy. Anywho, I'm passionate about this stuff because for so long, I really thought that I was the issue when it came to my relaxer. I was so confused. I would look at my friends and I'd be like, how come the relaxer looks like that on you? I'm doing everything correctly and it looks like this on me. Like, literally, I have no hair. Like, what is going on? Right. And that was a very concerning issue for a little, 12-year-old, 13-year-old girl just coming of age, just trying to feel out, who she is in this world, right? And it wasn't the kind of world that we have now where there's tons of representations of Black beauty all over the place. It's very much normalized. Back in the 90s, that wasn't normalized. Like, maybe I had like Hype Hair magazine. Let me know if you know about Hype Hair, girlfriend. What was the other one called? There was another Essence, and then that was it. There was nothing else, right? Whereas now, these kids got IG, they got TikTok, they have Twitch, they have YouTube that we're on right now. They have everything. And, praise God for that. Chinaza says, hi. Hey, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. Tiffany says, my hair was also so thin when I was relaxed, never relaxing again. It was horrible. Like, those days were just nightmares. True nightmares. Tiffany, I don't avoid things like sulfates. Some people also avoid preservatives. Yeah, for the sulfates conversation, I do think that there's a place for cleansing the hair, right? Like, I've used those types of cleansers that don't have any sulfates in it. Like, I've tried washing my hair with bentonite clay. Didn't film it because it happened actually pre-Fine Natural Hair Rocks. But yeah, like, it was okay. Like, it I guess cleansed it. And Sultanicals does bentonite clay type cleanses still. Like, a lot of their master hair cleanse detox. They've got kaolin clays that claim to cleanse the hair, and it does. But I like a little bit of sulfates to do, like, just make sure it's all off the scalp. Give me a nice, clear foundation to deal with again, because I do use a lot of products, and those products have to be pulled up off of the strands so that the products can go back in again when they're fresh. So yeah, I'm with you. I mean, the preservatives bit, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like with preservatives, like, you do need preservatives to a certain extent. Like, I wouldn't be able to have that if there were no preservatives in them, right? Like, they would all go bad. There'd be moles. It would be smelling nasty. Like, I wouldn't be able to do any of that. And so I do believe there's a place for preservatives, and there are healthier preservatives out there, which a lot of these companies, they claim that they're using, and that's good, right? But for those companies that, they have parabens, like, that's the preservative. Mm-mm. like, miss me with that one. Sheila says, I'm transitioning back to natural myself without doing the big chop. I'm at 3 months post today. Wish me luck with working with the two textures. So, yes, I wish you all the luck, girlfriend. You absolutely got this. That sounds amazing. So, I guess you're kind of like right now grappling with the two different textures, right? From what I remember, from transitioning from fine natural hair from relaxed hair to fine natural hair, is that there's like that line of demarcation, right? Where like the two textures are kind of meeting up on each other and they might be breaking off in the middle there, right? As long as you keep all of it hydrated and chop off the straight ends, at your leisure, but keep it as healthy as possible, you should be okay. Not that you asked for that advice, but I remember way back when I was doing it, and that's what worked for me. So, hopefully it will work for you too. Nadoom says a lot of people use Queen Helen and Palmer's cocoa butter products. Yes, and they have parabens too. It's so bad. And you know what? The worst part about it is you walk into the beauty supply store, which my mind is running a mile a minute right now. I'm like, I should probably make a video about that, about like, avoiding the bad products at the beauty supply store and leaning into the good ones. If you're interested in that, girlfriend, let me know, because here on Find Natural Hair Rocks, I only make videos that you're actually willing and wanting to see. But yeah, there's still a lot of products at the beauty supply store that are actually not natural hair friendly. Like, they're not conducive to, like, being healthier, which is a major part of what the natural hair movement is about. It's about improving the health of Black women. And I say Black women because we are the major consumers. For those of you who are not a Black woman in the chat, let me reframe. Black women are major consumers, Black people, of beauty. And so when these beauty products are harmful or toxic to health, the person who suffers the most is the Black population. And so it's really, to me, frustrating when I walk into a beauty supply store and I see marketing that looks like natural hair products, but when you look at the ingredients, it's actually not natural. That's a problem, and it's not cool, um, Heaven, has the natural hair movement given up because of the long hours of maintenance on the hair to relaxing? So, this is a really good question, Heaven. I actually don't know what changed that narrative. So, um, I feel like during the pandemic, maybe people had a lot of time and they started feeling like they needed all of that time to, like, do their hair. And now they're returning back to work. And it's like, I don't have time to watch YouTube and be involved in it. But I mean, if you're doing once you figure out your natural hair, it really shouldn't be that time consuming. Yes, the learning curve is consuming, in terms of, like, just information gathering and also trial and error, those kinds of things. For sure, that's time consuming. But girlfriend, once you get it, you get it. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like now that I know exactly what works for my fine strands, I'm not spending hours, pre-pooing, deep conditioning, twisting, doing this, doing it's just not necessary. And even in terms of, like, the moisturizing the hair, like, that's like a 30-second process in the morning. Like, spritz, spritz, it's summertime, let's go. Spritz, spritz, add on a sealer, it's wintertime, let's go. Like, it doesn't take that much work. And maybe that's a video as well in terms of simplifying the natural hair process, right? Because it really doesn't have to be that bad. So Tiffany and Naduma are just chatting about the Palmers. Yeah, so, like, Palmers is one of those products, those companies that typically tend to have very problematic ingredients. Another one that I'm thinking of off the top of my head is Cream of Nature. A lot of them are the ones that had the relaxers, and when relaxer sales started going down, they started trying to hop on the natural hair trend to keep the company alive. So there's that bit too. And don't forget for a second, girlfriend, that all of this has to do with money and dollars, right? These are companies. These companies are not invested in anyone's success other than in the success and the viability of that company. So, in terms of, like, you see some of these companies, they're like, oh, we've got this initiative where, we are here to support the community. Like, we're trying to be, I don't know, family friendly or community sustainable, whatever, right? They use, like, very catch terms. And, I'm not anti-company, but at the same time, like, I don't like when corporations try to sell themselves as something that's good for people when they're actually not doing good things for people. Like, you gotta come consistent, like, maintain the energy, and that's just, I mean, I could go on a note on that one too, but I'm all about maintaining energies. Like, keep it consistent for me. Okay, so Tiffany says, Nadoom says, nothing really. It's mostly petroleum loss that I can remember, but some people try to avoid petrochemicals too. Yes. Tiffany, some IG companies market products without preservatives. I purchased it once and it went bad so quickly I never purchased again. Yes. So Tiffany, there's this one product from Natural Club. They have really amazing deep conditioners, right? Not affiliated with Natural Club, just sharing it with you, girlfriend, because for me it works, right? And so, and I haven't used it in a while because they're actually quite expensive. But their products are so fresh that you have to refrigerate them. Now, I've tried it in the past. Is that something that works for my very high powered, very high energy, go, 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 go lifestyle? No, right? But I mean, if you really are that serious about reducing toxins and chemicals to maintain your natural hair, then that is an option. And that is what's necessary if it has no preservatives in it. So, really and truly, everything has preservatives. There's some things that have natural preservatives. Like, I just purchased some a skincare from this company in Canada that's really popular called Lush. Actually, I think Lush is in the US too. But anyways, yeah, so Lush has really amazing skincare, and a lot of it goes bad pretty quickly. And it goes bad pretty quickly because of the preservatives that they use, which are all natural based. So like one preservative that's really natural based that the lady was explaining to me is honey. So I use this thing on my face, this mask. My husband likes it too. It's called Mask of Magnanimity, and it's like kaolin, but it's also like honey on it. They have a version of the mask that has a natural, like a regular preservative that all the other ones have, and then they've got another version of it that has more honey because it's like a more natural preservative. And so it's just really interesting because yes, they're using a natural preservative, but because it's natural, it's gonna go bad a lot faster. So Island Girl, I've spent a lot of money over the years on hair products. I finally found what works for me. You see what I mean? Like it's just one of those things, man. Like if you really want to do it, if you're really, you know, connected to how your body's responding to things, you want to be as vital and strong and healthy and well for as long as possible. You know, it is what it is, right? Like for me, like those things matter to me, so I will never go natural. I mean, I'll never go relaxed. And I mean, if I did go relaxed, where would that leave Fine Natural Hair Rocks? We'd have to be called like what, Fine Relaxed Hair Rocks? Like, I mean, it kind of sounds good, but I don't think that's gonna happen anytime too soon over here. Um, I'm skeptical. Island Girl says I'm skeptical about products I see advertised on IG. Yeah, like IG is very commercialized now, so I totally get that. Oh, this conversation's so good, and it's 5:31 p.m. I did say I was leaving at 5:30. I'm gonna stay for 4 minutes longer, because I'm really enjoying you. I'm really enjoying you, Curlfriend Crew. I really wish I didn't have to go, but unfortunately, times just like that these days, like just too much to do and not enough time. Island Girl, I used Cream of Nature for years and it didn't bother my hair. See, and so for people who are using Cream of Nature, Island Girl, thank you so much for saying that. For people who are using Cream of Nature and it's working for you, that's one thing that's always going to remain consistent here on Fine Natural Hair Rocks. If it works for you, girlfriend, absolutely keep on doing it. Keep on using it. And if the ingredients in the line are not ingredients that are particularly concerning to you, then that's fine too. Everybody has to do what works for them, and it's never ever a judgment zone. And that applies to relaxers too. Not because it doesn't work for me means that it would never work for you. There's a YouTuber who I absolutely love. And, you know, at the beginning of my natural hair journey, I was actually looking at her journey, thinking, like, you know, I hope my natural hair looks like that when I'm ready to relax it. And who was that? That was actually You Love Megs. I know most of you guys probably know who You Love Megs is. She's been in the game for quite some bit. She was relaxed way back, and then she went natural for, I want to say, like a handful of years, and then she went natural, and then she went relaxed again. I don't know what she's doing now. I've kind of lost contact with her YouTube channel. And you know, to that point, I'm probably gonna go check her out tonight. But I do think that, you know, she's got fine strands. She identifies as a fine stranded person with hair, and so she went from having fine relaxed hair to having fine natural hair, and then fine relaxed hair again. So yeah, and for her, like, you know, it works. And not saying that it can never work. I mean, obviously for her it does, and that's great. But for me, it just, chemicals like that causes me more issues than good. Hi, Patricia, PSR 076. Welcome. I'm so glad you came. Look at us with the full house tonight. Love, love, love it, girlfriends. Girlfriend, if you're liking this live stream, you know we got to do it for the YouTube metrics. Go ahead and smash the like button right now. Subscribe to Fine Natural Hair Rocks if you haven't subscribed already, and hit up the bell notification button as well so that we can definitely, you know, get this ball rolling. Let's get closer to 10K. Girlfriend, once we get to 10K, we will absolutely be having another giveaway. I love to give the love back. You have been so loving and so supportive and so receptive to me here in these YouTube streets. And I am very, very grateful for your support and your time. And so I would absolutely love to bless the Curlfriend Crew in ways, you know, to return that love. And so for 10K, I'm working on something really, really nice for the Curlfriend Crew as a thank you in terms of a subscriber giveaway. So the closer we get to that is the closer we could drop the fun. All right. Mohammed says DNG. Ignorance had me spending hours on my hair. Within 2 years, the learning curve flattened, and now it's a breeze. It only takes me long when I want it to, when it is a hair spa day. Educate yourself. 100%. 100%. It's a learning curve. With anything, it's always a learning curve. It's going to take time. And you know what? My dad always says, like, nothing good in life comes easily. And that's something that has applied to pretty much every single journey that's given me good things in life. Like, it, my law degrees, my license, this new successful hair journey, um, everything. Now I'm on a weight loss journey as well. Let me know if you're interested in that. It's the weight loss bit has been going really slow, but the body composition bit has been really amazing. And so I haven't shared much about that because I'm not sure what type of an appetite you have for that, girlfriend, in terms of weight loss and fitness and health. But I'm very happy to share that information with you if you're interested in knowing what has worked for me versus, like, what I'm kind of like chucking to the side and doesn't work. Now that I'm in my 30s. So, PSR 076 says it's like EcoSlay products. It needs to be refrigerated. Yeah, usually those super natural products, if you don't refrigerate them, they're gonna go bad. They're definitely gonna go bad. Tiffany says this company didn't market it as needing to be in the freezer, which is why I didn't notice. They said it was okay to sit on the counter. It was shampoo and leaving. Yeah, you know what? In those instances, Tiffany, I would contact the company, because if you purchase a product and you care for it in ways that don't support its longevity, and then it goes bad, like, that's not your fault, right? Like, the company needs to give good customer service, stand behind their product, and help and assist with that. So if I were you, I would definitely follow up on that, because in these days of inflation and expensiveness, like, we don't have time to be wasting money. We just don't. They only said their deep conditioner needed to be frozen. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Companies do need to be transparent to Nadum's point. I've got sensitive skin, but I'm not about to fill my fridge with products. I mean, there's that too. Like, I've seen some girlfriends, and some other YouTubers, beauty gurus here on YouTube, they get like a little mini fridge and they put like all of their products in it, that so that they can last longer. I don't have one of those. Like, it's just, I just kind of keep things in a separate part of my fridge at home and no one really touches it. But if I wasn't like, I didn't have that framework, I didn't have that structure, I would consider purchasing one of those small fridges or freezers. But I mean, you're right, that is a lot that we have to do to keep those products good. And it sucks because it's like, that's a lot of effort. But then again, back to that good old saying, nothing good in life comes easily. TJ, yes, girlfriend, you made it. What's up? Giving you an air high five here from YouTube to you. And for all of you girlfriends who made it to today's live stream, I appreciate you so much, especially considering the fact that, the materials went up late. It was such a week, girlfriend. I don't even know how I made it to Friday, but here we are. And here you are too. So I really want to say thank you for that. I'm going to go through the next 3 comments before I run. I'm now 7 minutes over, trying to get off, but this is the love I have for you. Island Girl says, I love Cream of Nature's Argan Oil Mousse and Moisturizing Spray. I use them on my curly weaves and wigs. I've heard good things about the Cream of Nature line. That line has been very good for weaves. And like, I don't use it on my natural hair, but I remember using it a lot on my relaxed hair. And I definitely use those products on my wigs too. So chef's kiss for that stuff. Sheila says, that's what I use. It detangles well, and I need that as I transition. Anything that works. If you are in a transitioning mode, you've got the line of demarcation where the hair will break really easily if you're transitioning. At that point, whatever works. Like, if something is working for your relaxed hair and it's been working and you still have product left, like, why not transition it out with your, as you transition from fully relaxed to fully natural. You get the bang for your buck and it's working for your hair. So why stop what's working, right? Island Girl says, I tried EcoSlay and hated their products. That's interesting. I've actually never tried EcoSlay. I did go on a no-buy for any more natural hair products. So anything that comes to me because the brands are sending them at this point. And they haven't really sent me anything. EcoSlay hasn't sent anything either. So that's why I haven't really checked it out. I've seen, though, that there are quite a few new natural hair companies that have kind of come out. Donna's Recipe, I think, is one of them that I've seen. There's one that I want to try so badly, girlfriend, because it's just for fine strands. And that line is called Bondi Boost and it's from Sephora. So I've got a little list going of products that I want to try right here on Find Natural Hair Rocks. But like I said, I need to get through that first. So, on that note, I am going to head out. I'm going to head to this late night work event. And also, just as housekeeping, Monday, I'm going to be dropping day 3 and 4, maybe even 5 of the cruise. So if you're interested in the cruise vlog, if you want to see more about who I am beyond hair, that's going to be there. Jerry! Oh, hi, Jerry. Oh my gosh, I haven't seen Jerry in so long. What's up? Patricia says the gel products of Eco Slay works well for me. I gotta try that out. And my Miracle 79 says I love Eco Slay and Main Crush products. Main Crush is another one that I haven't tried a lot of either, but that I really want to try. But yes, so sorry, Jerry, and anyone else. I've actually got to run. I love you too much because now I'm like 10 to 15 minutes late for this event, but it's fine. Like, parties and galas and stuff like that. Like, I think you have a little bit of leeway in terms of when you arrive. It's not like a meeting where, like, why you're arriving to the meeting 10 to 15 minutes late. It's a party. So it'll be all right. But I don't want to push my luck either. So thank you for coming, Curlfriend. I will be back on this live 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Friday, every single Friday. If I can't make it because of work or some other unexpected event, then I will absolutely let you know in the community tab and also via our email newsletter list. If you're not on that list, Curlfriend, go ahead and check out the description box down below and join on so that you are never left out of any updates or any type of conversation that's going on here on Find Natural Hair Rocks. Thank you. Have a blessed weekend. Enjoy yourself. Live life to the fullest because you deserve it. I love you so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.